Fellows, welcome back to the More Than Average Men podcast. I am your host, Michael Benton, and you are watching or listening to episode 16. All right, man, welcome back to More Than Average Men podcast. I greatly appreciate it for those of you guys that are continuing to tap in with me week after week. Thank you so much for your support. If you're new to the channel or myself, thank you as well for joining. Man, I'm very excited. Not only just for the episode, but bro, like Thanksgiving is right around the corner. Like you guys have no idea how excited I get when Thanksgiving is like approaching. You ask anyone in my family, like that's literally my favorite holiday, Thanksgiving, bro. Like it's the food, bro. Like you get all the good food. I don't know if you guys have ever eaten soul food. I'm not sure. If you haven't, bro, you're missing out. You need to try it. But man, I get all the greens, all the turkey, all the fried chicken, mashed potatoes, macaroni and cheese, dressing. I get to put it all in a big ass pile, smash it down with hot sauce, bro, and just go to town. And we'll just eat, drink, sleep, wake up and do it all over again, at least for the next couple of days. Like it's literally the best holiday ever. So I get very, very excited around this time, man, because, I get all the good fixings and I don't really have to do much and it's great. So, happy early Thanksgiving to you folks out there. Hopefully you guys are, have safe travels and you get to spend time with your loved ones and enjoy that time that you have together. So over the past few months, I have been, presented with opportunities, right? Some opportunities. And as I started thinking about those opportunities, it really got me to think more about the previous opportunities that I've had and whether those opportunities were a success or I failed. And I started to realize, like, obviously I'm not the only one that probably has these thoughts when it comes to opportunities, but I think there's two major factors that I want to touch on with you guys today to kind of underline opportunities and how we could better, serve those opportunities or just have a better appreciation for them. So I wanted to dive into that. So the first one I want to talk to you about was how do we view opportunities, right? I would say that most of us, we see it as if I didn't win at the opportunity, then the whole thing was a complete failure, right? Like if I didn't reach the outcome that I wanted or projected, then I failed and there was no win. And I think that a lot of you guys, including myself, at some point were just thinking about it entirely wrong, right? Because I think we were looking at opportunities not at its entirety, right? We were looking at it from start to finish. But what about the transition? What about the middle stuff, right? What about the stuff that you went through, during that opportunity? Like I think we're missing out on a lot of good information inside there that we can extract and use for the next opportunity, and just use it in general in our lives. And so I really want to dive into that as well. I encourage you guys to see it differently. Here's what I mean. So if you did not reach the pinnacle or the outcome that you wanted, I would suggest that you guys look at those opportunities differently, right? So you may not have reached the outcome, but did you learn a new skill? Did you learn more about yourself? Did you recognize or realize that maybe you're more resilient than you think you are? Maybe you have more confidence than you think you did, right? Maybe you found out that you have some triggers, right? That bring up certain emotions or actions or reactions. Did you form any new relationships? Did you meet anyone new? Someone that could be a power partner for you in a particular industry, or someone that could be an aid in helping you achieve X number of goals or whatever it is. Or maybe you met a new relationship as far as like more romantically, right? Like did you meet any new relationships? Did you get pushed out of your comfort zone? Right? Like did you reach a peak in which you thought you could never get to? Did you and that kind of goes back to learning more about yourself, but did you push yourself or maybe you didn't, right? And then ultimately, right, this is kind of a given, but did you gain more life experience? And I think obviously that's a given. We all gain life experiences, but I think it's the recognition of that, right? Like, what did you gain out of that experience? Was it, in your perception, was it good or bad? Who knows? But I think that in any opportunity that you, come across or go after, I think it's very important that you ask yourself those questions, because a lot of the times, and usually most of the time, right, where if we don't reach that pinnacle point, then it's a failure, and we don't look to grasp, okay, what did I actually learn? I may not have reached where I wanted to go, but what did I achieve out of that? What did I learn out of that? What am I going to do next time if this opportunity comes up again, or a similar opportunity comes up? What am I going to do next time that I didn't do this time, right? And I think there's a lot of great information that we could take from every opportunity that we've ever been given or gone after, because again, there's a lot of stuff that we can use, and a lot of stuff that we now know for the future. Like, okay, I won't go down that path again. I won't try that again, right? I won't let that bother me, or I need to work on this, right? I get angry and emotional when this happens or that happens, right? And so it's a learning opportunity. And I want to give you guys an example of mine, and maybe this will bring up some of your own examples for yourself. But so I told you guys before that I sold health insurance, right? Private health insurance. And so I did that for about 2 years. And I initially got into selling health insurance, not because I loved the product. Like, I didn't really care about health insurance, but it was the opportunity, right? It was the potential outcome of making a crap ton of money and helping people in the interim, right? And so I did that for 2 years. And, when I look at an opportunity or I look at a potential outcome, at the time, I only see two things, right? I see where I'm at day one, and I'm looking at day 500, right? I'm not even looking in between. I'm looking at, okay, this is where I'm at today. This is where I could potentially be. And that's all I see. And I failed to look in between. It took me a while to really recognize and take a step back and be like, man, okay, I didn't reach where I wanted to reach in selling health insurance and making the money that I wanted, that projected to make and wanted to make, or having the lifestyle that particular career or industry was going to provide for me, right? Had I gone out and did what I needed to do. And so I failed to look into the small things that transpire between day one and the day before I left the industry, right? And what I came to realize is that, yeah, I may not have made all the money that I wanted to make. I may not have created the lifestyle that I was hoping that particular career would give me. But what I did take out of it was I had increased my phone skills, right? Because we were making, some of us, $400, $500, $600 dials a day, 5 to 6 days a week, And so my phone sales increased, right? My sales closing ratio increased, right? So I was able to, the more conversations I was having, the better I was getting on the phone, the better I was able to close people that were maybe on the fence of not buying that particular product I was selling, or whatever the case may be, right? So I was getting better at closing deals. So that's a plus, right? My negotiation skills were increasing. I was able to, again, go back and forth with potential clients and sell them on why this particular product, health insurance, was going to work for them and their family, and it'd be a win-win for everyone. So my negotiating skills were going up. My confidence grew. Have you guys ever been in a position, sales position, commission only position, right, where you're having to sell, you're having to, I wouldn't say persuade, right, but you're having to talk someone potentially into buying a product, and having them see it that particular product and what you're selling is going to work for what their problem is. It's going to help them solve their problem. And so a lot of confidence grew, making phone calls to random people. Now, again, not to get into the weeds of things, but the people that we were calling, they had somewhat of an interest, right? They had went online and clicked on something that said that they were looking for health insurance, whatever the case may be. And so we would call those folks, right? And we would call warm leads, people that were actually looking for health insurance too. So, but after making so many phone calls day after day after day, month after month, year after year, your confidence builds up, right? And so, when you first start off, you're first of all, you don't know what you're talking about for the most part, right? Like you have a general knowledge, you take a test, right? So you have a license, but putting it to practice, right? When you're actually on the phone talking to someone and you're negotiating with them and you're trying to close and you're trying to build rapport, like you're doing all of these different types of combination. It's tricky, bro. And you don't really have a lot of confidence because you've never sold that product before. You probably never had that type of conversation before. And so it's a lot of fear in the beginning, right? But the more repetition you get, the more phone calls you make, the more sales you get, you start to build more confidence. And I would say that that's helped me a lot because, you know, I can take that confidence that that experience that I've obtained, and I can put that into anything else. And so, you know, doing this, you know, talking to you guys through the microphone and being recorded, like I've always been a natural even before health insurance, but to randomly go up to people and have conversations with them, right? To try and talk to someone about a particular product or whatever, just my confidence is up. And so I feel like there's nothing that I can't do because I've done hard things before that have helped me build that confidence to be able to say what I need to say and do what I need to do and approach people that I particularly probably don't know, right? So that's one of the things that I gained in my time in doing health insurance. Mental toughness. Again, when you're having to make 400 to 500 dials a day, bruh, that gets tiring, you know? And that was part of the reason I didn't like the process for me, right? For me, I didn't like the process, bro. And that's what I had so much willpower, right? I was going off willpower, right? I was just pushing myself through because there was an outcome that I wanted to achieve. But, you know, at some point it faded for me. And that willpower went away. But it created so much mental toughness because day in and day out, I'm doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, right? And I'm building mental toughness. Whereas, like, I don't want to make any dials, but I'm doing it. I don't want to have any conversations, but I'm doing it, right? And I'm doing it the next day, and I'm going to do it the day after that, right? So it just built a lot of mental toughness. And I would say that all those things that I've learned, gained, or discovered about myself during that 2-year process is information and stuff that I can use in the future for whatever new endeavors or opportunities come my way, or whatever life throws at me. I can use those skills to I don't know, kind of work my way through whatever it is that I'm going through, right? So I think it's important that even though you may not have gotten to where you wanted to get to, you need to look at what did you gain out of that? What did you learn from that experience, right? What did you discover about yourself? And pick those wins out of there, you know, so that way you can use that towards your next endeavor. And it's only going to make you obviously a better person. And then obviously it's going to make you better professionally as well. And so there's a lot of things that I think that falls through the cracks when we are trying something, maybe not even for the first time, but just, you know, we've been given an opportunity and it doesn't go our way. There's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of golden nuggets in that experience, however long you've been doing it, you know, whether it was a couple of weeks or a month or a year or whatever. You know, there was something that you can take from that. But you just got to be willing to sit back and say, okay, what was it? Because we're all motivated, right? We're all, for the most part, we're all motivated to win, whether it's getting a paycheck, right? Whether it's creating a certain type of lifestyle, or just maybe we're in that particular career that we love and find so fascinating. And so, you know, we're in it for something. And so it's easy to get bogged down with not getting those things and not achieving what we wanted to achieve. And the golden nuggets that we can take from that, we throw to the wayside. So like I said, I would just urge you guys to look for the wins in each and every opportunity that you partake in. Because like I said, there's something to be gained, learned, and discovered through that. The second major point that I wanted to bring up to you guys was, I think the reason why most of us don't achieve the results that we want or the outcome that we want is because we let ourselves down. We let ourselves down. So many times I've come across an opportunity and I've been like, oh, you know, I don't really need to do much, right? The opportunity is going to take care of itself. I just need to plug myself into this opportunity and I'm going to win. And that could be so far from the truth because, you know, opportunities seem to be everywhere we look if you look hard enough, right? If you look hard enough, there's always an opportunity for you to do something, right? Whether it's to be a coach whether it's to be a mentor, whether it's to start a business, whether it's to teach, whether it's to be a world traveler, right? Whether it's to find love, whether it's to get a promotion. Like, there's opportunities pretty much everywhere you look, if you look hard enough, to elevate you to the next level, or to do something different, right? There's always an opportunity there. But we squander them. We squander those opportunities. Most of us squander those opportunities because we don't do what needs to be done, right? I used to think that if an opportunity came my way, like I said before, I could see success based on who I was when that opportunity presented itself. So the skills that I had at the time that opportunity presented itself to me, that was enough, right? The mindset that I had at that time when the opportunity was presented to me was enough, right? My work habit and habits and my worth ethic at the time that the opportunity was presented was enough. That was what I was projecting. That's what I was thinking, right? And so I felt like, I didn't have to do much. An opportunity was presented to me, and it must have been presented to me for a reason. I must be doing something right for that opportunity to come. So I don't need to do any more other than get into the opportunity and work it, which is so far from the truth. Because I got blindsided by the potential outcome. Like I told you before, right? I got blindsided by, this opportunity came up and it could give me this life. It could make me this amount of money. It could change things. It could change my life entirely, right? Entirely. I'm going to go after it. I'm going to do it. But I didn't stop to think like, okay, what do I need to do to ensure that I will be successful in this particular opportunity? What do I need to do? I didn't stop and ask myself that, right? I just saw what the potential could be, ran with the skills that I had, ran with the mindset that I already had, ran with the work habit that I already had, and kept it pushing, thinking that was enough. And I learned, or at least I learned now, looking back, right, that's not how it works. At least that's not how it works for me. And I don't know if you guys have been in the same situation, or you're currently in the same situation, or you see opportunities the way I'm seeing it too. But it's definitely an eye opener, to look back at my opportunities and see which ones I squandered. Like, man, I had some good opportunities that came up, and they could have worked. They could have gave me the life that I was looking for. They could have made the money, helped me make the money that I was looking for. It could have gave me the accolades or whatever else that I was looking for in those opportunities. It could have happened. But only if I had pushed myself to expand myself, right? And not walk into those opportunities thinking that who I am at the moment those opportunities came in was going to be enough, because it wasn't. I needed to grow in some aspect of something. I needed to get better skills. I needed to change my mindset. I needed to change my work habit, right? I needed to change my relationships. Something needed to change in order for me to get to where I needed to get to. So like I said, they're just, it's not enough. You have to do more. So, like I said, who you are and the skills you have is what got you the opportunity in the first place, right? But who you need to become and the skills you need to obtain will get you to where you need to go with that opportunity. Does that make sense? So you can't just rely on who you are, the skills you have, and the mindset you have to get you to where you need to get to in that opportunity. You have to expand, bro. You have to grow. You have to push yourself beyond who you were when that opportunity came in order for you to achieve what you're trying to achieve, right? Staying stagnant is not going to help. It's only going to get you so far. And I'm sure, like myself, I'm sure a lot of you guys have already witnessed that, right? Like where you've probably gone from job to job to job, and you've gotten new jobs, right? And they might have been upgrades, right? You might have went up in pay salary each time you moved up, or maybe you got a different title or whatever. But you'll realize, if you haven't already, that you'll reach a peak in which the skills you have and the mindset you have and the work habit you have is only going to take you so far, and it's going to stop, and you're no longer going to get advances in other areas or in your particular job, because you need more. You need to provide more value, right? And so who you are isn't going to be enough when you're trying to reach a certain level. So I would urge you guys to remember that. So don't just settle. Don't settle for who you are and the skills that you have. Because a lot of us, I think for me anyway, I don't think I blatantly thought this way, but I probably took opportunities for granted, right? Like I figured I'm a good dude. I don't have a rap sheet. You know what I'm saying? I've never been to jail or whatever. I stay out of trouble. I try and do the right thing. I'm kind to people. I'm responsible. I take care of my family and what I need to do. Like I handle my business. You know what I mean? And so I probably in my mindset ultimately think that, okay, well, good things are going to happen to me and I expect to get opportunities because in my mind, I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm staying out of people's way and I'm focusing on me and I'm trying to grow and I'm doing things the right ethical way. Right. And so I expect to get opportunities and, which is fine, which is totally fine. I appreciate that and I'm grateful for that. But I think it's even more important to recognize that, okay, yeah, you're going to get these opportunities, but it don't mean nothing if you're squandering them, right? It don't mean nothing if you're not taking advantage of them and actually either winning in those opportunities or you're advancing yourself in those opportunities. So you may not reach the pinnacle where you want it to go, where you project it, but you're still growing as a person. You're still adding skills. You're still changing your mindset. You might be even uplifting other people, right? And helping other people as you go along. So, it doesn't matter how many opportunities you get. If you're not capitalizing on the opportunity itself and either winning in those opportunities or gaining something or learning something or discovering something, what's the point? You could be the person who doesn't, the best person in the world, the kindest person in the world, the most humblest person in the world, the most responsible person in the world. But if you're not growing yourself when these opportunities come and you're not expanding and pushing yourself to beyond of where you are right now, beyond where the opportunity came to you, it's a moot point, bro. It really doesn't matter because you're not going to do anything with it. Nothing's going to happen. You're going to continue to get opportunities and you're going to continue to fail. You're going to continue to be where you are. It's just point blank simple, right? So I would tell you, man, I would suggest to you, don't use previous opportunities that didn't go as you projected to justify why new opportunities aren't going to work. You might have been presented with, 15, 30, 100 different opportunities all across the board. And, and you might have, in your mind, you might have failed at all of those because in your mind, you didn't take the time to look, okay, what was the win out of each one of those opportunities? What did I gain? Who did I become? You probably didn't take the time to do that. And so when a new opportunity comes up, you already have the mindset like, this has come up before, or I've had this opportunity before, but it never works out. It never works out. I always end up failing. I always end up losing. I always end up quitting early. I always end up getting let go from the opportunity or whatever, right? And that's the mentality that you don't want to have. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to have that mentality. So don't allow your past experiences and those and opportunities to dictate, what's going to happen for you in the future when new opportunities arise. Take the time now that you are aware, right? That you're a conscious being. Take the time that you understand that there are wins in everything, and point those out. Highlight them. See where you've come from before the opportunity came. See where you're at, and then after the opportunity, what changed? If nothing changed, what needs to change? There's a learning experience right there. If nothing changed for you, then obviously something needs to change. Identify it. Put it into place, put it into practice, and do it. So that way when the next opportunity comes, you're that much more prepared and ahead. And you're not repeating the cycle of squandering off opportunities because you're thinking that the same person that you were when you got the opportunity is going to be enough for you to get to where you need to get to, and it won't. And like I said, if you haven't experienced that already, you will. If you continue how you're continuing. Does that make sense? So, easiest way to say it, man, is just adjust your mindset. You got to adjust your mindset. You got to become aware. So if you're thinking, I'm inefficient, then you need to start thinking, or you should be thinking, I'm efficient, right? If you're thinking I'm not enough, then that needs to change to I'm more than enough. If you're thinking I lack focus, then that needs to change to I will be more focused. If you're thinking you don't have the skills, then you need to change that to I will build the skills. Right? Think the opposite of what you're doing. And it's more, and obviously it's more than just thinking it, right? Like you have to put this into practice. You have to put this in action. It's just like affirmations. Affirmations are great. I got affirmations on my bathroom window. I read them almost every morning. But just reading them isn't going to do anything for me. Right? Just like manifesting. I totally believe in manifesting, but just hoping and praying that things change for you is not going to work. Not going to be enough, right? So it's not enough just to say and to rethink how you do things and how you think of things. But you also have to put in the practice of changing that, of actually taking action on it and doing it. So again, I think that, opportunities, they come and go. I think everyone will get an opportunity to do something at some point, and there might be people out there like, man, I don't never get an opportunity. I'm in the slums, and you can point out all of the bad experiences that you've ever faced and all the bad luck you have and this and that. But I think that even in those situations, bro, there's a silver lining, right? There's a shining light even in those negative situations. And I think an opportunity will does present itself in those opportunities, right? It's up to you to decide if you're going to run with that. If it's up to you, if you're going to decide to do something about it, right? It may not be an opportunity where it's just like, oh, here you go. Here's you can be vice president for the day or for the year, or here's a new promotion, right? Or, hey, here's an opportunity for you to start a business. Like, it may not just be that blatant. It may be like really small steps. It may be like, hey, would you mind? We have a new hire here. Would you mind kind of mentoring her, showing her the ropes, showing how we do things around here? Right. That's it. That indirect opportunity could be an opportunity for you later on for a management position. Right? Your boss may say or remember, man, you mentored the last 3 people that we hired and they're doing great. I want to recommend you for advancement in a management role. Right? That could be an indirect opportunity for you. He may not come out and directly say before he wanted you to mentor that, hey, I want you to be a manager. There might be a little step that you have to take in order to get the opportunity to become a manager, right? And so you got to be able to look at those chances. You got to be able to look at those experiences and take advantage of them. So ultimately what I would want to leave you guys with, man, is look for the wins. Look for understand the knowledge that you've gained, understand the skills that you've built along the way, and make sure you're putting in the work to get yourself better. Don't rely on the skills of where you currently are when that opportunity came in to get you to be successful, to get you to reach the projected point that you had in mind. Don't leave that up to chance. Do something about it. Be the change. Advance yourself. If you're really good in a certain skills area and that opportunity presented itself because of that or was part of that, then get better. Then look to increase that particular skill. Look to get different skills. Right? Because obviously, we're trying to progress in life, whatever that looks like for you. But it's a progression, and so use that time, use those experiences that you have, use those opportunities that you're being presented with, and take advantage of them. Because there's going to come a point where no more opportunities are going to come because you're still stagnant. You've been who you were for the last 10 years. You've been who you were for the last 5. Your relationships are wiltering and they're not strong because of who you've been in relationship for the last 5-10 years. Married, you've been divorced twice. Things that haven't worked out for you in relationships because you continue to think that if you just stay who you are, that some point someone will come along and just take you for who you are. And that might be the case, but you that might not be the healthiest and happiest relationship that you potentially could be in. So look to advance yourself, look to grow within yourself, change your mindset, change the way you think about things, change your habits, change your skills, upgrade your skills. So I wanted to leave you guys with that. Opportunities, don't squander them. Take full advantage of them when they come around, and put your ego to the side. And if there's things that you don't know, if there's skills that you don't have or you lack in, that you suck in, right, for a lack of a better word, put your ego aside, man, and do what needs to be done to better yourself, to increase your chances of winning. Because that's ultimately what we all want to do. Whatever we've outlined that winning to mean or to look like to us, that's ultimately what we want to do. We want to win. I want to win. I want to be successful, right? Doing this podcast, I got into it with the skills that I currently have. I believe I have great communication skills, right? But what I'm realizing is that I need to increase my communication skills. I've noticed, just give you an example. When I say right? If I say a lot in my, now I'm going to do a lot in my episodes, and I go back and I listen to the recording because I'm going to be editing it, and I hear that word, I'm like, man, I said the thing like 60 times. It just, to me, it just sounds bad. So I'm like, okay, I gotta increase my communication skills, right? I may be better than most when it comes to communicating, but I'm not where I need to get to. I'm not where, if I increase my communication skills, that's going to make me sound better. That's going to make the podcast sound better, right? That's going to make, it's just all these things. And so there's things that I'm decent at as far as skills, but I need to increase. A couple weeks ago, I went 2 weeks without posting an episode. Why? Wasn't consistent. There wasn't discipline enough. Now, again, granted, I'm not being hard on myself. Things happen, right? Whatever. Sometimes you need a break, whatever. But again, if you want to be good, right, and if you want to get to where you want to get to, like for me, if I want to be successful in this podcast business, I need to set my consistency up. I need to set my discipline up. I need to set it up to where maybe I'm batch recording, meaning, instead of recording 1 a week, I'm recording 4 a week, right? And that way I only need to record once a month. And now I set myself for the rest of the month. So where all I have to do is just record one time, 4 episodes, edit them, boom, I'm done for the month. Right? So it's just about developing yourself and getting to a point where, okay, if this opportunity presented itself, I need to take full advantage. You need to take full advantage. Does that make sense? So again, I won't harp on it too much. I'll leave you guys with that. Like I said, I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving, man. I know I will. I'm about to listen. Your boy is about to go down. My mom's is making all the greens, and my pops is making the dressing, and I'm responsible for the macaroni this year. So we'll see how this works, how this turns out. But it should be good. I'm a pretty good cook. So, but no, I'm super excited for Thanksgiving. So I hope you guys have safe travels. Enjoy your meals. Enjoy your time with your family. Enjoy your time off. Like I said, if you please, if you're whether you're listening or watching, please subscribe to wherever that's at, and please rate the show. We want to be able to see this show, be shown to other people that could potentially need our help, right? The other men out there that potentially need our help, women too, right? We know I got some women viewers. So, I appreciate your guys' support. And as I always say, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks, fellas. Peace out.